Welcome back to another episode of WOL Talk. Today, we're going to talk about a very intense moment, a very difficult choice, where Hex had decided to become a priestess of Fyire in order to cure the plague that had been sweeping across Merdania. What are your thoughts?
It was definitely an intense situation, that's to say the least. You guys, just like the whole way up there and everything, I can just tell that, you guys are walking with a lot of tension.
Yeah, because we dealt with Fyire before, and knowing what they are didn't help at all. It's like, okay, the first time we deal with them, we're just like, okay, we're just gonna go in here, we're gonna, either kill everything or we're gonna sneak past stuff and then get this thing, and then there's these mouth monsters that are just eating everything and continuously spawning. And then we deal with that, and then now we gotta find out we gotta go back to another temple that has the same monsters in it, and you're just like, I don't want to do it.
Because they're not simple, they're gross, they're impossible, they keep coming back.
Yeah, they eat everything.
Yeah, just the RP even at the door and stuff like that, you can tell you guys were amping yourself up and just the ambience of the music going on, plus, what was going on with the door even coming up there,
Yeah.
And then, Flint's reaction to it, Matt's, everybody, and that's one thing is it's like in an RP situation, displaying fear for a lot of people is not easy because they always want to be the superhero, so it's like superheroes don't feel fear. No, these people are supposed to exist in this world, so you guys represented fear of a situation really well, and it, and when you do that, it you kind of feel it.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, the type of environment that is a temple with waterfalls of blood, hands stretching out of walls made of flesh. It's gross.
It was so gross. And then when you do get one down, it just melts into bloody mess and becomes another one. So
it's just yuck.
Yeah.
But back on the topic of Hex, what happened to Hex there?
Yeah, I was angry about that. Or Hex was angry about that. Very, very angry. Because it could have been Sarowin.
There was a lot of emotion in that one moment once everyone realized what had to happen, because there's the chalice right there, cure to this plague is right here, everyone needs it. There's a ghost right in front of that chalice that's going, one of you has to become a priestess of Fyire or priest of Fyire. And then we got people we can smash it, and I'm like, no, we can't, because it's a ghost.
Yeah.
We can't do anything.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we got magic. Yeah, you're the only one. The only one.
Yeah, the whole one person.
Yeah.
In a 5x5 room.
Right, yeah.
Nowhere to escape.
Yeah, you got us, this ghost, and this chalice, and a waterfall of blood in a 5x5 room, and you're like, you want us to do what? You want to try and fight it?
Yeah. Well, no, what good would that do anyway?
Yeah.
And so it came down to two choices, because at this point everyone had the plague or something was wrong with everybody, and I was kind of thinking oh man, I gotta sacrifice myself to get this dumb chalice, and then you go, you're tainted, you can't do it, and I'm just like, well. And then Matt tries to step up and go, I'll do it, and he's like, no, you're tainted too. And I'm like, yeah, that's right, you got cool fever. And then it just boils down to two options.
Yeah.
Hex or Sarowin. And once I realized that, I kind of knew what was gonna happen.
Right.
But so
Yeah, so I tried to volunteer Sarowin, and that wasn't going anywhere. So finally, I'm sitting there in my head going, well, there goes my character. Bye-bye, character. It was nice when I had you, but so long. Hex doesn't have any friends anyway, so, yeah. And she's interested in all the different types of weird, so let's just go with it. And, yeah, so I went to the front thinking that this is going to be the end, and it actually became something very, very intense and interesting.
Yeah, I gotta say, like, a lot of, like, feelings and perspective of, like, characters changed, at least for me.
Right.
At least for, like, Flint. Because, you know, before, like, pre-Sarowyn dying and coming back, Flint thought of her as, like, you know, oh, that's a little sister. You have to, like, look out for her and protect her. And, like, then she died and came back and she changed. And it got a little bit more like, well, she's definitely not the same person.
Yeah.
Maybe we should try and, like, you know, I don't know, keep an eye on her. Like, she's definitely changed. And then when it came up to this, when it's like, because even though Flint and Hex did not like each other, they're still in-laws. Like, that's his sister-in-law, and he didn't want anything to happen to her.
Right. Yeah.
And Flint's looking at Sarowyn like, get up there. And she's
Right.
no. And I'm like, really? This group made a deal with the literal devil to get you back, and you can't even... So, like, his perspective of Sarowyn changed drastically. Not in the way that, you know, like, he just doesn't like her. He's just like, all right, okay, you're definitely not the same person anymore. Yeah. I kind of know what category to place you in of how I feel now. And then on the flip side of that, because Hex took on that entire burden, it was like the ultimate act of mercy that someone could give.
Yeah.
Because, like, you now have this, it's not an affliction. It's like this dedication that's forced upon you, because now you had to like switch deities and everything, because Hex worshipped Rajin, and now she's forced to worship Fyire.
Yeah,
and you gave all that up just for this chalice that could heal people from this plague.
Yeah.
Well, it was to heal people from this plague, but specifically, like, you and, Justine's character, because that was her only friend.
Yeah.
And, you know, the family ties thing, so...
It was definitely...
She didn't feel like she had any other friends, because she hates Sarowyn.
That moment was like...
So she didn't get away unscathed, though. No. I mean, when it came to who Hex hated the most amongst everyone and cherished the most amongst everyone, you know, that since she had to choose that, you know, that said volumes as well. As people are looking around, who do you hate the most? And they're all
everyone looks at Sarowyn.
And then who do you cherish the most? That was a tough decision too. To where she's like, ooh.
Yeah, that was a really tough decision.
I thought you were gonna pick Xylia.
You know, and I was tossing it between my head. Family ties or my only friend? Family ties or my only friend? Family ties or my only friend? I guess family ties.
His blood literally is thicker than water.
Right. Quite an analogy. But yeah, the whole, even when he came down the hill, like, and you guys, you know, that whole moment of the bottom too, because everybody started, like, really feeling it, because, you know, they always seen Hex as an outsider. You know, mainly because she set herself up that way. You know, she's the person that's not trying to get personal. You know, I'm not trying to, you know, fix you and everything like that. And for her to end up becoming the person that did fix everyone, you know, and not only that, but in a self-sacrificial way, really messed with everybody, you know, because it did a 360 in, you know, that character's, you know, perspective, you know, how people viewed her. And it just made for a huge emotional moment, you know. So, and a couple people said some emotional things. Matt said, you know, a couple things like, you know, you are family, you know, all this, and it just, like, I mean, even as the GM, I'm standing there in Black Hulk, and I'm like, I got a knot in my throat. I'm like, dang it, man, y'all got this rolling. Like, everybody had, you know, tears in their eyes. I don't think there was one person standing there that wasn't feeling it, you know, in some way, some reason. But everybody was impacted hugely by that moment. Yeah.
And when Matt called Hex family, I just lost it because, like, this is a character whose family she's still an outsider in. Yeah. So she doesn't really have, like, what people would consider family or, you know, friends, because she's such an outsider.
Yeah.
She's different. She's just, it was so weird.
Yeah.
And that for this person to just dedicate themselves to, like, helping and calling her family, it's just...
And the family that she does have wasn't there.
Yeah.
And the family that was there, they didn't like each other.
Yep.
Well,
her sister's, like, really the only one that treats her normal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the core, really, of, like, in character development, like, what we look for in the sense of, you know, having negatives or quirks about a character and personality to where it carries to the point of almost a life change. You know what I mean? You almost build a bunch of things that, you know, overcome. Because once you overcome that, it not only affects you as you know, your character as a person, and as you as yourself, but it affects everybody else's character and them as a person too. So you'll have those big moments, you know.
Right.
So if you came in already perfect with no blemishes and no quirks and no, you know, social awkwardness, you wouldn't have anything to overcome, you know, because you've already reached your pinnacle. So that's the cool thing, is the journey isn't really to cure the plague. The real journey is those character developments, you know, and that's what we seek out of it. And that was perfect. Like, you could tell, because it impacted everyone.
All right, well, that's about all we have for this time. Next time, we're going to talk about one of the biggest decisions that was ever made by our player characters at any Warriors of Light event. So we look forward to seeing you that time.